When you're talking to a girl and she says that she does not want children, that is the biggest red flag in the world because she is living for herself.
Really? That's the biggest red flag. Not racism, not cruelty, not abusing children. Living for herself is the biggest red flag.
She is living for herself more than she is for her future offspring.
What future offspring? You started off your thesis statement by saying a girl who doesn't want kids is the biggest red flag. But now, not living for your future offspring is. Because you can't have future offspring if you're not having kids. And I know you know the difference because your next sentence is literally,
I don't mean the girls that are like, I'd like to delay a few years. I'd like to do it, end of my 20s, early 30s, whatever. I mean women that are like, I'm not having children. There is no bigger red flag.
yeah, maybe this is just because I am a woman, but I'd rather go out with someone who didn't want kids than someone who would, beat me. That seems like a bigger red flag, but maybe I only think that because of my tiny woman brain.
We are all going to pass away and be forgotten. The only thing we contribute to the world is our children.
Wow, what a bleak outlook that is. First, what if you have kids and then they die before you? I've been to quite a few of those funerals. And if your kid dies before you and before they had a kid, does that mean that you haven't contributed to the world? And what about infertile people? Do they not contribute anything either? Because you said that the red flag is a woman who chooses not to have kids, but then you said that the problem is that she's not contributing anything. So the issue to you is actually the contribution, which infertile people are also not doing. Also, there are tons of people who didn't have kids and still made big contributions to the world. Here are a few of them.
I always look from the perspective too of being able to be healthy and have kids is a great blessing, right?
Wrong. For some people, it is. I just did a video on this subject yesterday. What is a blessing or profound to one person might be terrible to another person. And if someone has kids and they see them as a blessing, that's great. Seems like they're carrying out their life's work. But plenty of other people would not find childbearing and rearing to be a blessing. For example, my ectopic pregnancy was not a blessing. What was a blessing was to have a supportive partner and best friend and team of skilled doctors to save my life during that ordeal. And I'm going to touch on his health comment in a second because he has more to say and it's a doozy.
My brother has special needs. He can't run, he can't work out, he can't speak. I can do all those things, right? So one of my passions is working out, being healthy, taking care of myself, right? I mean, it's such a blessing to be able to do that.
Yeah, dude, please stop talking about your brother like he's useless. Plenty of disabled people have children and are great parents. And some of those great parents can't run, work out, or speak. And of course, there are disabilities and conditions that would make becoming a parent impossible. And that's why this video sucks so much. You're saying that your brother, because of his disability, has not been blessed and can't leave his mark on the world. But Stephen Hawking managed to make his mark on the world, and he couldn't run, work out, or physically speak either. Imagine being a worthwhile person who contributes to the world without being able to do those three things. Although this guy probably gives Hawking a pass because Hawking did have kids. But also your hobby of working out and staying healthy, that's great, and it will probably help you in the short term and probably the long term too. However, your health can turn on a dime. I'm pretty sure I'm older than you, but not much older than you. I had no physical ailments until, surprise, I developed Hashimoto's and it changed my entire life. You could get in a car accident tomorrow that leaves you completely paralyzed. What will you do if you have some sort of issue that causes you to become infertile before you can create children? What will you think of yourself then? Maybe then you'll start seeing your brother as a worthy person despite his alleged inability to have kids.
I look at having kids the same way. If you're fortunate enough to have kids and have that gift, there's many people that would trade their lives for you.
Okay. Have them arrange a trade and I am all for it. A couple years ago, I actually looked into donating or selling my uterus because I'm not using it. But besides the fact that the technology is not really here, you also have to have had one successful pregnancy to even be considered to donate your uterus. But also, every single person in the world looks at least one other person that they know or have seen, and they go, wow, he can do X and he doesn't even appreciate it. If I could do X, I would do this, this, and that with it. He's so ungrateful. Well, you're not him, so tough luck. He's allowed to do with his life or skills or whatever what he wants to do with them. But especially when you're speaking about pregnancy, childbirth, raising kids, that's full of risks. And maybe you haven't considered any of this because you're a guy, but aside from when you conceive the child, very little of pregnancy or childbirth is easy. Some people may have an easy childbirth and pregnancy process, but what's going on inside you is crazy complex and something can go wrong at any second. It's not a red flag to not want to put your health at risk like that.
You can still be like, I'd rather do it my way. That's fine.
Oh my god, thank you so much for your permission. I am going to be doing it my way.
I still believe it's an absolute gift and a pleasure, and I think more people, should not take that for granted.
Yeah, you believe it's a gift and a pleasure because you're a guy. You will never rip from clit to ass while pushing another human out of your body. You will never have an embryo get stuck in one of your fallopian tubes and then rupture the fallopian tube, causing you to go septic. You have a 0% chance of being part of the too high maternal death rate in the US. It's easy to say that certain things are a gift when you don't have to put any work into that gift. And regarding not taking things for granted, I'm not taking my health for granted, which is why I'm not putting it at risk by going through pregnancy. See, for a lot of people, including parents, there's more to life than having kids. And you should really do some soul searching and work on realizing that, because there is a chance that when you try to have kids, you won't be able to. And what will you do if you find out that you are part of the rising infertility rate in the US?